One quarterfinal matchup is down in the 2017 Great American Conference Volleyball Championships with 3 more to go. Welcome back, friends. I'm Paul Smith. And coming up next here on the GAC Sports Network, we have the 3-6 quarterfinal matchup for you. Or rather, the 2-7, quarterfinal matchup coming up between the 2nd-seeded Lady Bisons of Harding University and the 7th-seeded Bulldogs of Southwestern Oklahoma State. The winner of this one goes on to play tomorrow at 3:30 against Oklahoma Baptist. Great matchup coming up with the call at courtside are Michael Westbrook and Joey McWilliams. Gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Paul. We're excited for our second matchup here today on the GAC Sports Network. A Harding team, Joey, that lost last year in the opening round to 8-seed Southeastern, a Harding team that was #1 overall last year. And a Southwestern team who has previously won a tournament championship. Most of those players have gone on and graduated 2 years removed from that now, but it should still be a very good matchup between these two teams.
It is a Harding team, by the way, Michael, that has exited in the first round in each of the previous 2 years. Not just last year, which, granted, that was an upset without question, the 8 seed coming away with the win in that one, but also losing the prior year in the first round. Matter of fact, they're 1-3 in the last 4 times that they've been here in Hot Springs. So Harding needing to get past the first round, get that through that first game jitters, if you will.
Oklahoma Baptist won earlier today, 3-1 over Ouachita, and Arkansas Tech and Southeastern will be our next matchup at the conclusion of this one, roughly 5 o'clock. And then our final matchup will be #4 Northwestern against #5 Southern Nazarene. Meredith Fear in her 5th year as the head coach of this Harding Lady Bisons team, having played at Harding, back to take on the coaching responsibilities. And I was looking through some numbers beforehand, and I realized just her 5th year, it just feels like she has been leading the program much longer than that. Meanwhile, Josh Collins is in his 6th year as the head coach of Southwestern Oklahoma State. 2 of the best in the league going at it here today.
Well, they're veterans, Michael. They're veterans.
That's true.
They've been at it for a while. They faced each other before, and this and another opportunity here in Hot Springs to get to square off and see who's best. Both are champions, by the way, of the GAC tournament. Of course, Southwestern winning a couple of years ago in 2015, and Harding back in 2012, the last time that the Lady Bisons won a GAC tournament championship. Defeated Arkansas Tech that year.
Our starters for Southwestern: Cody Avery, Lindsay McCauley, Allie Hong, Sophia Gruden, and Jenny Tackett, along with Danusha Sipa-Borjo. And I will do my best, folks, to get that one right. It's French, but she's from Australia, so we'll just get that out of the way early on. For Harding, it's Emily Smith, Selena Foster, Madison Poon, Zoe Harden, Emma Reeves, Rachel Heisner, and Taylor Lake. Of course, that's 7 names for each of them. They subbed the libero in there right before the start. Our second match of the 2017 GAC Volleyball Tournament is underway. Harding is in the white uniforms. They have the match's first point, and the Southwestern in their blue uniforms. Taylor Lake, the junior from Overland Park, Kansas. Strong lined up from the right side, that time from Jenny Tackett, a redshirt sophomore out of Arlington, Texas. Ties it up at 1 early on.
Now, Tackett had the error on the first point. She gets the point this time. As we see some quality players. So Harden, you mentioned. In fact, Harding coming out here, and Harden going to go a different direction. Looked like they might go her way at first. Got the block. Harden, one of 3 unanimous players to get unanimous votes for the first team in all GAC. The conference awards announced last night.
Ansley Young was the one who gets credit for the block that time for Harding, a freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas. Harden, a junior out of Amarillo. We called their name a lot last couple of seasons, and we will do that again this year and next year.
And we do. She does get the individual honors as Zoe Harden, along with Rachel Heisner, 2 all GAC first-teamers for Harding. No one on the Southwestern team, a first team or second team in the all GAC list. A couple of players getting honorable mention in Caitlin Dillon and Delaney Fire. And the reason I mention that, Michael, is that, Southwestern has come across with many individual honors over the course of previous years. This is really a team effort today.
A strong swing that time by Selena Foster. And Foster, a senior from Santa Fe, New Mexico, ties it up at 3. A matchup in the regular season went to Harding. They swept Southwestern 3-0.
Well, a good look that time for Harding. She just pushed it.
Mentioned that Harding has lost in the first round in each of the last 2 years. Actually to Southeastern both of those years. They were the 5 seed in 2015, the 1 seed in 2016. Good play developing. Dig by Heisner. Tough play at the net that time for Mount. She got it across.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael, you just had the feeling Southwestern was going to get that point eventually, just opportunity after opportunity. And Harding really never reset. Anytime it would come back over to the 1 push, the 2, Harding ever reset the offense, and Southwestern just stayed home.
Allison Russell, a freshman from Clinton, Oklahoma, with the block. We'll see Harding serve. Fourth in the conference at points at nearly 4 per set, and has a good eye that time to see that one going out. We are tied at 5 in our first set between Harding and Southwestern. Winner goes on to play Oklahoma Baptist, who defeated Ouachita 3-1. Harding gets the service ace.
Well, that's a big deal. Go ahead and get her going. You know, one of the keys to the game, even though, as we see Harding here just in that back line. That one might have fallen in the same place, but nice serve receive for Southwestern. Coach Fear said, hey, listen, this is a team that, as that one goes long, needs to get a balanced offensive attack. You know, we're going to call Harding's name enough times, and no doubt about that. She's averaging 2.96 kills per set, right at that 3 kill per set mark. A number of other players up there, and she said, look, we don't need to get locked into just one player being our individual go-to. Someone else like that, like Emily Smith coming through and getting the kills for her team. They need to balance things up and spread it around a little bit.
Smith sets it across, and it is in for a Harding point. The kill registered by Taylor Mounts, senior from Clovis, California. And Emma Reeves, a junior from Topeka, Kansas, takes the floor. Serve coming from Heisner. Harding leading 7-6. Harding keeps it alive. Libero sends it across. Strong dig by Lancaster. Across the middle at the net. Harding ready for it.
Another great dig.
Sent across by Caitlin Dillon. Delaney Fine not able to get that one across. She'll try again and into the net.
That was just a miss hit by Fine. Just did not get her hand on it properly.
Harding with the early advantage, 8-6, as Heisner will serve again. How about Harding right there? Looked like it was going to be a service ace. Didn't look like Fine had much of a chance to come down with it. Somehow she got it across, and Harding had a lot of teamwork to make it happen. Set by Hong, intended for Tackett. Who's going to come away with this momentum point? Harding by 2. As Russell will try her luck. Got to get that sponsorship for the mat because you almost lost yours. Almost needed a new one. They made it to the second match before volleyball came flying at us.
This computer's made it through a lot of GAC play. It can stick around for a little longer.
Harding's doing everything right now.
They really
At the
are.
net, the digs, it's all coming together. It's resulted in some long points.
Well, I think
Southwestern's
they're doing everything they can to stay with it, but it's the aggressive play, though. You see time after time again, the attacks are coming from Harding right now. It's Southwestern moving back. They're getting solid digs. They're getting good defense, just putting it back over. But you're right. This has been aggressive play for Harding.
And it's a 4-0 run as Heisner continues to serve. Emma Reeves got the kill a moment ago. Reeves will try it again. Seeing both teams bring it all right now.
You know, and I'm just looking at this, and that goes out. I don't think it touched the Harding player. I think that's going to be a point for the Lady Bisons. Here's some long rallies, too.
Coach Collins may need a timeout here. He will take one. The run continues for Harding. They lead by 5 in the opening set here on the GAC Sports Network.
Free-range chicken, you roam free. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to GEICO. It's what you do.
I chose SAU because SAU has a very small hometown family feel where every faculty and staff member is willing to help you in any way that they can.
I chose SAU because it helps me develop tight-knit relationships amongst my teammates in the residence halls and with my peers.
I chose SAU because before I flew here from Malaysia, I felt welcomed by the SAU staff and faculty.
I chose SAU because the engineering department has strong industry support that provides internships and jobs after graduation.
11-6, Harding leads Southwestern as play resumes, and a kill from Jenny Tackett for Southwestern, giving them a point back.
Well, they stop a 5-0 run by Harding. You know, Michael, I was thinking as this run continued, the longer you get Heisner to serve like that, that's an added bonus for Harding. This is Heisner has come out and had a very solid season. The junior leading the GAC in assists with more than 1,150. Quality year. And if you're getting the service from her as well as all those assists, that adds up to nothing less than good for Harding.
From Waseda, Minnesota. We might need to find out how she landed in Searcy, Arkansas. Some good volleyball played up that way.
Now they'll tell you in the northern part of the country it's good volleyball.
Got one team out of our conference, nationally ranked. Arkansas Tech is the 8th ranked team in the country, but they come in at number 10 in the regional poll because of all of the northern schools that, no doubt about it, are very dominant in volleyball. See Emily Clayton, a junior from Aledo, Texas.
Nice redirection that time by Heisner as well. And it goes long.
Tell you what, we saw a player from Aledo in the previous match.
Wow. That point actually went to Southwestern. I'm not so sure there wasn't somebody in the net. We'll get a call on that.
Well, it's 13-8. Harding up by 5. Kill across the middle that time for Harding. Emily Smith, freshman. And she'll go out.
They're still giving Tackett the kill on that. May have actually touched a Harding player. That could be it. Because it did go long.
Yeah. Here's Sipa Bourgeot. No, a teammate cut her off. And couldn't do much with it that time. So Harding out in front big here in this first set, 15-8.
Well, you can actually physically see the difference between the two teams right now. You look at the lineups that are on the volleyball court right now, Michael, and the height disparity has to be on average about 4 to 5 inches across the board. Harding, a taller team.
Great play there a moment ago to dig that one out. Madison Poon from Lafayette, Louisiana. But up front, you're right, when Zoe Harden is standing at the net at 6'3", that helps your average. Another point for Harding. 16-8. Check this out.
Goes off. That went just enough off Harden's head. That was able for Eubank to come in for the dig. Nice move.
Couldn't come up with that one. We saw Ouachita take the first set in our first matchup, and then Oklahoma Baptist rattled off the next 3. Perfect placement that time from Harding.
Well, we mentioned in that match it was the composure of Oklahoma Baptist not to get rattled in the early going when Ouachita came out and they really did. They dominated that first set, the 25-17, and Oklahoma Baptist did not lose its composure. And that's going to be key, I think, for Harding. You know, in this one, and they have to get this first match, whatever it is, the stigma that's been on them in the last 2 seasons, get it out of the way, get to the next day.
Sophia Gruden in the net that time, giving the point to Harding. 18-9 is our score. Harding leads Southwestern. Joey, yesterday in Texarkana, the big announcement was made for the annual Agent Berry Live United Bowl played at Razorback Stadium in Texarkana, Arkansas, as it was Arkansas Tech accepting the bid out of the Great American Conference and Pittsburgh State accepting it from the MIAA. We're going to have a good matchup there on December the 2nd at noon at Razorback Stadium in Texarkana.
Oh, I think this is a great matchup between two programs that just are playing on a fantastic level right now. Arkansas Tech over the course of this year, my goodness, they've played up there. A couple of tough losses, some very good wins, and against a Pitt State program that is historically dominant, one of the winningest programs in Division II history. A great matchup is going to take place in Texarkana.
And we got the Wonder Boys and the Gorillas.
There you go.
Two good
mascots.
matchups, right? We get Jerry involved, Jerry the Bulldog from Arkansas Tech, and, you know, could get fun there, I guess. Hope you'll join us on the GAC Sports Network December 2nd at noon. We'll be back with you. But a lot to be determined here in Hot Springs. Just our second of 4 matchups today in the quarterfinal round. 18-9 as play resumes. Harding leads Southwestern in our opening set of this one. And now 19-9. Make sure you stay tuned at the conclusion of this first set. Paul Smith will be standing by with the head coach of Oklahoma Baptist. On there, I'm sure he'll ask how she felt about their first ever tournament win here in Hot Springs.
You know, that, and I talked about the height differential. That is an example of it right there. Harden did not hit that ball on the way up. She hit it on the way down. She had her arms up that high. There was just enough as her presence there. Even on the way down, she was able to redirect that.
That one was tipped off of the blockers, and so a point for Southwestern. A rare moment where they didn't get a full hand on it. 5 blocks for Harding in this first set, only 1 for Southwestern, playing into what Joey's been talking about.
Wow.
Almost a block there. And Southwestern will come up with the point despite the effort from Madison Poon. Could not stretch out far enough for it. Sipa Bourgeot gets credit for the kill. You see Southwestern a lot trying to push it to the back row.
Exactly. Well, and as much as anything, it's not the power attack to get to the back row. It's the push, like you said, to get it up and over that initial line of defense and find some placement with the ball.
Selena Foster in to serve. 21-11 in the first set. Harding on top. Yeah, you got to do one of two things. You either got to get past the front row or, like we saw there a minute ago on the second hit, try to get it across and catch them off guard, but it didn't work.
No, and Harding is doing a good job here in this initial set, just staying in system, playing like they need to. That could have been dangerous.
Yeah.
That's nice to see Hong be able to get up, shake that off, and she's all right.
Harding 2 points away from taking the opening set. Sipa Bourgeot will get the kill that time for Southwestern.
Finding a way to just make things happen, isn't she?
Yes. I talked with Doug Self, the sports information director at Southwestern, on the drive up yesterday here to Hot Springs, and he said you might struggle with that one a little bit. It's French, but she's from Australia. Appreciate his help, not only with that, but with the game notes and everything else that he does for us. It's set point for Harding here in our opening set, 24-12. Zoe Harden slides it just over the net, down for the service ace, and set one belongs to Harding. Pretty handily, in fact, 25-12. And so we'll have set two in just a moment, but before we step away, Paul Smith is standing by with the winning coach from our first match. Take it away, Paul.
Thank you, Michael. I'm here with Coach Anna Howell from Oklahoma Baptist. And Coach, first of all, first time into the GAC tournament. What a way to get started.
Yeah, thanks. We're really glad to be here. We have enjoyed every minute that we've been here so far.
The play of your team in that first match, very solid. On paper, looking at some things, both teams hitting 204, but really the play of Caden Lang has been such a catalyst for you this year.
Yeah, she really came out here and she really wanted to play hard and win this match. Ouachita played great. They battled hard, and every time we played them, that's how they are. And she just kind of had it in her mind that she was going to get everybody on board to win this match, and she was a big leader for us. You
had a lot of things working for you tonight. Serve, receive, blocking. Has to give you a little bit of confidence as you get through that quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, we were very nervous coming in. We want to stay in Hot Springs, and we were very, very nervous coming in, but I think we battled through that, and it's good to get through that first one, and we're excited about the next one.
Move on to the semifinals, and either way you go, whether it's Harding or Southwestern Oklahoma, it's a big challenge in front of you.
It is. Harding has some great athletes, and Southwestern defends the ball like crazy. So, both are very, very good teams. So we have a big challenge ahead of us that we're excited to be able to step in the fight.
Coach, congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Harding leads this match 1-0. We'll be back with a second set in just a couple of minutes on the GAC Sports Network.
I knew engineering would be a challenge, but that hasn't stopped me. Here, I could create a new organization and networking opportunities for women in STEM fields. At Arkansas Tech, I'm more than just a student. My name is Emily Torrialba, and I am a trailblazer.
Kids fall in love with sports. Our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
Just about ready for the start of the second set. Harding won the first set by the score of 25-12. As Joey said, size played a factor in that opening set. You got Zoe Harden up front at 6'3", along with Emily Clayton, 6 feet, Emily Smith, 6 feet. I mean, the height advantage for Harding allowed them to hit 235, and Southwestern had a negative hitting percentage in that first set.
That really is, it's a big deal. I mean, having that height up there, not that Southwestern can't play around that, but in this opening set, it really was the difference. It made a difference there. You talk about a negative .062 hitting percentage. Southwestern, 8 kills, 11 errors, and that's on 48 attacks. And by the way, this Southwestern team will attack.
Trying to there.
Now, that's the one thing about the Bulldogs. I mean, they're going to come out. They're going to find a way to make things happen. If it's not going to happen, you know, with the size, they're going to try to get it in volume. They actually lead the country in attacks. 4,940 attacks coming into this contest. That is actually number 1 in Division II out of 303 programs in D2. It's just, you know, that's the only way sometimes you can get it done. If you can't get it by the height, get it by volume, just wear your opponent down.
Jenny Tackett gets a kill for Southwestern. And how about Zoe Harden a minute ago? On the second hit, realized that one was coming across to her, and she just batted it down. This is the 13th all-time meeting between Harding and Southwestern. Several of those coming in tournament play. And would you believe, Joey, it's the 5th location for these two teams to play against each other. Going back to 2005, they played in Searcy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I could name 4 of them.
Okay, so you got Searcy and Weatherford. I'll give you those two.
Okay, well, and I'll take it a step farther there, and I know that you have the information,
yeah.
I'm sure, from Doug Self to SID. So you've got Hot Springs, you have Searcy, then you have 2 sites in Weatherford. And that's the Pioneer Cellular Event Center, and then you've got to go back. It's the other location, and I know this. The other location, it's the former building.
Well, Rankin Williams. Well,
yes.
Now, okay, let me tell you this. I was specifically speaking cities.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
So
okay.
we would have to wait for a text from Doug to see if maybe they did play in 2 different locations there in Weatherford. But so no, I was actually speaking of 5 different cities.
Okay.
And one of them, I think with enough time, you could get. The other one, I don't know. Do you want me to give you a few more minutes or no?
Give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
This rally may last that long.
It might. It's kind of why I felt like it'd be a good time to throw it out here. Southwestern will get the point on the double from Harding, and it's 3-2, Harding with the lead. It's a GAC town.
I was going to say, it's Russellville.
There you go.
Because the tournament was held on campus, so I was just about to get that one out.
And so that was November the 11th, a Harding win. That was the first ever GAC Volleyball Tournament Championship, November 11, 2011. And the 5th location is the place that I call home for my university, Denton, Texas, actually, back in 2009.
There you go.
I just felt it was interesting that 5 locations for 13 matches. Harding out in front here in the second match, 5-2, and that one's close but out. Trying to find the line, couldn't do so.
Yeah, then 6 courts, because you have to throw Rankin Williams in there too. So
you only get those facts here on the GAC Sports Network.
That's right. Thank you, Doug Self.
That's right.
I think that I'm contractually obligated to mention his name at least once during a volleyball broadcast.
Right, right. Well, he's always very helpful to us. Block at the net that time.
And that's you're seeing a little, and again, not a lot of height on this Southwestern team, but you see some of it there.
Fine and Gruden. Fine, the senior from Reno, Nevada. And Gruden, a sophomore from Metamora, Illinois. Couldn't stop that one, however. A kill for Harding gives them a 2-point lead again. See Josh Collins in his 6th season as the head coach of Southwestern. He actually joined us during our first match. And we enjoyed having his analysis of that contest. Check this one out again. Watch it roll across Southwestern point. Caitlin Dillon, the sophomore from Edmond, with the serve, and she can't control that one. Her teammate's there to help her.
Well, there's your segue into Edmond, Michael. Just in on the back line, and so Harding, will they get that? Yes. There's your segue to that hotbed we were talking about recruiting earlier. I mean, so many teams in Oklahoma will have at least one player from Edmond on the roster, as that is just really the center of the volleyball universe in the Sooner State.
Caitlin Dillon, 4th in the GAC in digs, just a sophomore. Harding registering the point, taking a 3-point lead, 8-5. Kill by Emily Smith. And that one goes out from Delaney Fine, too strong. And Harding has controlled this match, winning the first set 25-12 and now up 9-5.
Good play from upperclassmen. Both these teams, as that is high, and I don't know how they can get it around. They're not going to be able to get around the antenna.
Thought you were making a baseball call there for a second. This one's high and deep.
It was out of here. It really was. It was out of play, in essence. And take the timeout now.
So Southwestern takes a timeout. Harding has doubled them up here in the second set. 10-5 on the GAC Sports Network.
The running of the Bulldogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
There's so many reasons I came to SAU, but the main part was the family atmosphere. At SAU Engineering, even first and second year students get hands-on experience with the latest technology. Professors incorporate their real-life experiences, work one-on-one with the students, and care about our future. I found myself fitting in since day one, and I was immediately able to call SAU my new home. SAU is the 6th most affordable university in the nation. My name is Aaron Stanich, and I chose SAU.
Jenny Tackett registers a kill for Southwestern, and we are at 10-6. Harding with the lead on Southwestern in our second set. After the Harding Lady Bisons took the first set. Cody Avery serving for Southwestern. Good recovery by Harding. Tackett, another kill. Back-to-back points for Southwestern.
Well, you know, two teams actually that have gone different directions in the last 2 years. We mentioned Harding has struggled in the quarterfinals here at the GAC in 2015 and 2016. Southwestern won each of its prior quarterfinal matches in 2015 and in 2016. And we have a violation crossing the center line, Harding, so Southwestern will get the point.
So that's 3 in a row now for Southwestern. We've mentioned these players by name already, maybe not by classification, but a lot of the juniors out on the floor for Harding were freshmen when they first lost to Southeastern as the 5 seed. Lost again last year as the 1 seed. They've got something to prove.
Well, they really do. And I mean, you talk about them. I mean, there are 2 players in the first team GAC, both of them in Heisner and Hardin, both juniors, just 2 seniors on this team, and actually just 2 seniors on both rosters today. I find it interesting, though, Michael, you look at these rosters and you look at the rundown. Without the 2 seniors for Harding, there are no sophomores on this roster. And I actually, mentioned that to to Coach Fear at the start of the season as we were doing our countdown to first serve. Coach, it looks like you have an opportunity to go on recruiting trips only every other year. Is there a budget issue that we need to know about, that it's just every other season you get to bring in new players to the program?
I like that.
No, it just kind of fell that way. It just worked that it's the players that are sticking around.
No, because she probably responded with, the coach has to recruit on any days they're allowed to, right?
Yeah.
No matter if you need the player or not. Got to make sure they know about you. 13-8, Harding with the lead on Southwestern. Diving dig from Caitlin Dillon. Set by Heisner and recovery by Southwestern. Valerie Vermillion, a sophomore from Wiley, Texas, getting in the mix for Southwestern. And she'll go out now.
You mentioned that, and I would imagine the Southwestern program has been approached by a few players recently. There's an NAI university in Oklahoma, in Shawnee, actually just a mile down the road from Oklahoma Baptist, St. Gregory's University, that is closing its doors at the end of this semester. It's been around since 1875, and the athletic department ceased operations immediately as of last Wednesday. There are a lot of available players out there for some coaches that may be looking.
No, absolutely, and well, it's not
that's
something,
in all sports, not just this is volleyball.
Not something anybody wants to go through. You hate to hear that, and you hope all those athletes can find somewhere else to go. You would think it would be tough for the basketball players right in the middle of the season. Well, not middle of the season, but the beginning, and volleyball getting close to an end, so maybe they can land somewhere next year. There's Hardin. A dig, however, by Dillon. Dillon again keeps it alive. That one's outside of the antenna.
Well, Michael, to wrap up the recruiting portion of the conversation, I joked about, the every other year with Harding, but that's a process I would think that an athlete, the coaches have to do it year in and year out. There's no way around it, but on the college level, it's part of the job. For an athlete and that athlete's family, you would think just one time in your life, that's all you'd want to go through that process. And for those players at St. Gregory's to have to, in essence, do it a second time, some of them in a back-to-back years for those younger players, that has to be a challenge. So, Coach Collins, maybe you may be having some of those call his number.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Strong swing from Emily Clayton. Southwestern got it back, blocked at the net by Hardin.
And that's why we saw in set number 1 so many times these Southwestern players trying to push it over, get it past that initial first line, and Hardin just moved over there quickly. That wasn't a set defense. She just got their individual hustle, found the place, and got up for the block.
She has 4 kills and 6 blocks already. Zoe Hardin. I'll try to go to her again off the right side, and she'll have another kill. Off of the block that time, and Harding leads 16-11 in the second set. We got a timeout here from Southwestern Oklahoma State. And we'll take it as well. A 5-point Harding advantage in the second set here on the GAC Sports Network. 2 more matchups still to come here on the GAC Sports Network today. Number 1, Arkansas Tech and 8-seeded Southeastern Oklahoma State at 5 o'clock. And our 4-5 matchup, Northwestern, the 4-seed against 5-seeded Southern Nazarene at 7:30 a little bit later on. And we'll have our quarterfinals in the books before tomorrow's semifinals starting at 3:30 tomorrow. Here in this one, it's Harding 16, Southwestern 11 in the second set. Harding up 1-0. Michael Westbrook along with Joey McWilliams and Paul Smith from Bank of the Ozarks Arena in Hot Springs. Selena Foster, the senior from Santa Fe, New Mexico, serving for Harding. Harding registering another point. The set coming from Rachel Heisner. And Zoe Harden with the kill.
You know, for as quick a pace as this match has had, realistically, these have been just some long rallies. If you're a fan of watching volleyball, not just maybe a serve and just one kill and done, this really has been the match for you.
Danuja Sipa-Bourgeot gets the kill. You're right. I mean, it's just been back and forth for sure. I made the comment earlier that Harding was doing everything right. What I guess ultimately what I meant by that was at the end of the rally, they're the ones that are capitalizing on the moment.
I mean, because the Bulldogs have played, you know, they've stayed in it. It's not like anything's been given up. Of course, now that I say that after, you know, service error, but they've been long rallies. They've stayed with it.
Watch out, coming at you again here. Strong kill that time from Southwestern, making it 18-13. Kill by Delaney Fine.
Clemson Lancaster to serve. Her older sister Kayla played for this team, was actually a key member of the 2015 team that won here a couple of years ago as a senior on that team.
Taylor Mounts gets the kill for Harding. And if I remember correctly, her senior year, she was the only senior on the team.
I believe so.
So
I think that is right.
Southwestern can't handle that one. It's a service ace for Rachel Heisner. And you may remember earlier on in the set, especially the first set, when Heisner was serving, Harding was doing so well. And like you said, it was just an added bonus at that time. Wow, what a play. Foster used about every part of her body to make sure she could get that ball, but 4 hits against Harding.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Harding has gotten through. If there were any jitters, any holdover for these players, especially these juniors that have been through a couple of first-round losses, I think that's out of the way now.
I would think so. You know, it's postseason play all the way around right now for Southwestern and Harding. We got football and football postseason play right now. Women's soccer and football.
I really didn't
lost
know
you
where
there,
you were
didn't
headed with that.
But hey, how about Southwestern women's soccer making it to the Sweet 16? I know you got to call one of their matches a couple of weeks ago.
Did. Exciting match in Shawnee. Wound up as a 3-2 finish. Southwestern upsetting Oklahoma Baptist in Shawnee, but it was a fun match to call. I've got to tell you, it was exciting, especially in the second half, the play from both those teams. And Alimata Rabo is the player that she lived up to the billing, Michael, with 1 goal and 2 assists.
I didn't give you enough of an accent. Football.
Football, yes.
I just, didn't want to go too far with it. And she is the nation's leading goal
scorer.
Wow,
yes.
That's impressive. On the other side, the Harding Bison's football team won their last 8 games of the regular season, made the Division II playoffs. They'll play on Saturday. 22-16 is our score. Harding leading Southwestern. As Harding will take on the University of Indianapolis, UIndy.
you just have to give credit to what Harding is doing. Well, Hardin as well, but what Harding is doing now, and even just the service aces, just what they've been able to do to initially get things going. This is really taking a Lady Bison's turn.
That one goes into the net, and now Taylor Lake will have set point here for Harding at 24-16. Very similar to our first set. Lake serves to Dillon. Set goes across to Vermillion. Southwestern keeps it alive. Vermillion pushes it across. And Madison Poon could have let that one go out. I don't know where it was on the line over there, but either way, it's a point for Southwestern.
I think it was one of those, she probably felt like she had to take the chance. But set point here, you know, Michael, I know that you're a big fan of these seeding statistics.
Okay.
Number 2 seed has never lost in the GAC tournament in a quarterfinal.
Wow.
6-0.
Well, they're a point away from having a 2-0 lead. As Lake sets her teammate that time, Reeves, back to him. Madison Poon from the back row there. And that one's blocked by Hardin. Who else is going to make the difference? 25-17 is the final as Hardin registers her 7th block of the match. 25-12 in the first set, 25-17 here in the second set. We'll bring you the third set in just a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
For me, that meant that I could afford to go to college. When I was considering colleges, it was important to find one that my parents and I could afford. So I was happy to find that I could attend the University of Arkansas at Monticello at one of the lowest costs of any four-year college in the state. Affordability, tradition, a great college experience. It all comes together here at UAM.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
When I set out to explore my future, I encountered many paths. I looked for a university that would prepare me for a successful career. A place to get rooted in an actively involved community. And find friends who would help shape my future. The decision was clear. Arkansas Tech University, the natural choice.
Did you know
that 1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted in college?
that 1 in 16 men are sexually assaulted as well?
That only 13% of rape survivors report assault? That 8 in 10 victims know their attacker?
In the Great American Conference,
there are over 50,000 students with over 4,100 student athletes. In the Great American Conference,
it's on us to stop sexual assault.
Anyone can be a victim.
Everyone can be a part of the solution.
It's on me.
To give a voice to the voiceless.
It's on us.
To give hope to the hopeless.
It's on me. To take a stand.
It's on us. To make a difference on our campuses.
It's on you.
To take the pledge.
It's on us. 12 schools.
2 states.
1 conference.
It's on us.
A triangle solo? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Sam and Joanna saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
At Oklahoma Baptist University, we'll help you find your passion in a community where your professors know you by name.
We'll help you find your purpose by bringing faith and knowledge together through a Christian perspective.
We'll help you find your future with a world-class education that prepares you for a successful career.
We'll help you find a place to grow into who you were meant to be.
Come grow with us. OBU, find your place.
Zoe Hardin leading the way for Harding. She has 6 kills, 7 blocks. And Harding has a 2-0 lead here against Southwestern. As Harding will serve first, Taylor Lake. Strong swing that time, but got a net violation against Harding anyways, and a point for Southwestern.
Michael, I know you were looking at one of the statistics at the break, and that is the attacks from both these teams. Now, part of that, and I would say a large part of that, is the amount or the rallies that we've seen here. And so we're seeing a lot of opportunities for these attacks to take place. We'll give you a little perspective on that statistic right there. For Harding, 74 attacks in the first 2 sets combined. For Southwestern, 92 attacks in the first 2 sets combined. Now, let me give you the perspective on that. Southwestern leads the country, we said this, in total attacks on the year, 4,940 total attacks. They're averaging just less than 40 attacks per set, okay? That's enough to lead the country. For the first 2 sets here, 46 apiece. So, I mean, we're seeing a lot of volleyball being played right here in this second quarterfinal match.
And yet it's still going fairly quickly.
And it really is. I mean, you know,
wow.
It's interesting to see the rallies out here, and yet the pace of this match is just, it's something. It's an anomaly.
And of course, now we've talked about it, so we'll slow down, I guess.
Well, that's there's a principle there. I think it's a Heisenberg principle. Is that correct?
Yeah.
If you
I'll
observe something, that it changes it.
Right. 2-2 in the early going here of the third set. Harding just had a big kill a moment ago, and Nathan Looney is sending in some stats for us. We'll get to those in a moment. Nathan Looney, the sports information director, assistant sports information director at Harding. That one deflected off of Southwestern, a kill for Selena Foster. Keep an eye on this for us today, Joey. Zoe's season high in blocks is 10 versus Washburn. Her career high is 15. She's got 7 right now.
Who's verifying? I think that is the Heisenberg principle.
Okay.
So just by us being here and observing it, talking about it, I think it has changed.
See how much you learn on the GAC Sports Network. Goodness, we're in rare form today, you know? And it's early. Misplay there from Harding's Rachel Heisner, one of the rare misses we've seen from her at the net. And Southwestern with a few subs here. Ali Hong, freshman out of Plano, back on the floor. I'm starting to think several coaches in the league only recruit every other year, because there's a lot of freshmen making an impact early on here. We'll see some more of those in our next matchup, too. Harding to the right side. Stopped that time, and it's out. So a point for Southwestern.
Well, we historically see at least 1 or 2 freshmen at this time of year that have had just great seasons. Obviously, you know, there's always a GAC freshman of the year, but there's always 1 or 2 that you know, their names have been called enough times you're familiar with that player on the team. I'm amazed by how many of them we're going to be talking about over the course of today, including the ones we've already been mentioning. And we haven't even gotten to the freshman of the year yet in Lexi Johnston from Tech.
Boy, Tech just continues to wrap up those superlative awards, don't they? Year in and year out. We have become accustomed over the course of the GAC to see Harding and Tech always in the mix. I don't know, Joey, this year, and we're still a long ways from this one being over, but it's been a couple of years now since we've seen them in the finals together, and it's likely to be that way on Saturday.
It is very likely. I think that's.
And I'm saying that just simply as the 1 and 2.
Right. I don't know that Vegas has put odds on this. So there's a line as we see a timeout on the court right now. Southwestern, a little bit of a rally here, and we get a chance to talk about this. But you know, last season it was a big deal when both Harding and Tech had lost in the first round.
Right.
And that was, you know, of worthy of mention. I just. Going into this tournament, that would have shocked me amazingly if either team were to lose in the first round. Now Southwestern making a statement here in set number 3, enough to get Coach Fear's attention and to settle down the group. But you're right. I mean, you go back to the beginning. It's been a Harding and Tech tournament. I think it was a nice breath of fresh air last year. But to say these two aren't on a collision course right now is maybe off the mark.
Tech losing last year to Southwestern in that quarterfinal round in 4 sets. But in 2012, actually 2011, the first year of the GAC tournament, Arkansas Tech won that one on their home court against Harding in the finals. The following year was Harding winning on their home court against Arkansas Tech. 2013 was the first year here in Hot Springs. Those two played each other in the finals. Tech won that one. But haven't seen that matchup in the last several years.
Well, they did actually meet in the semis in the next year, and Tech won that one as well.
So 7-3, Southwestern has the lead on Harding here in this set.
And of course, then by Central Region polling thinking, Tech winning in the finals back in 2013 would have dropped into 3rd place in the conference.
I'm scratching my head on that a little bit, but I mean, I'm not trying to take away too much from what those Northern Sun schools have. But you got to think, Harding's 25-5. One of their losses was to 15th ranked Central Missouri at the time, 24th ranked Arkansas Tech at the time. Another loss to Arkansas Tech. Any other region, they're top
all right.
4, 5 probably.
Yeah, that loss to Central Missouri, who, by the way, is a very good program. Harding had an 11-game winning streak coming into that match. So they've started off well, and they're finishing pretty strong too. And again, you talk about 2 losses being to Tech. Those are quality losses. So
Southwestern challenging a call here, so we'll get our first challenge of this second match here today in our 3rd set. 8-5 is the score right now. Southwestern with the lead on Harding. We'll take a look at it. Each coach gets 3 challenges that they are allowed to use over the course of a match. So
it's close.
Yeah.
That angle's a wow.
Right now the point went to Harding, saying that one was out by Cody Avery. Well, we had one about in that same spot in the first set, maybe a little bit closer to the net.
We did. I would have to say, and again, I'm not the person who makes this decision. I would think from this point it looks like it was out.
I think so as well. We'll wait and get the official word, but again, the call that it was out. Harding with the point. Coach Josh Collins thought enough about it to go ahead and try the challenge there. We're about ready to get the official call.
Neither coach, by the way, taking much opportunity to visit with his or her team. Just going to let them think about this just a bit.
Wait and let the public address announcer make the official call here, but said it was in. So I'll make the call for him. And end up reversing that one, it appears.
I think I'm over.
I think you might be. You might be.
Am I looking at a different monitor?
I don't know. I mean, gosh. We're going to have to ask our producer to upgrade our monitor only to 4K. I don't know. You're usually right on these things. So
it wasn't a number, Michael.
So the call reversed, and well, wait a minute. Maybe they changed their mind afterwards there. Yeah, that's right. So they did reverse the call, as we said, and Southwestern gets the point. Yeah. All right. Just touched the line. Now we got to make sure we get the server right. They had already rotated, thinking that Harding was going to have the point. So we got to stay in rotation here. It actually not only rotated but brought her out. So Lindsay McCauley to serve. Well, that's a difference of 8-5 to now 9-4. Giving the momentum to Southwestern here as Sipa Bourgeau gets the kill. Transfer out of Blinn College, making it 10-4 Southwestern.
she's one of the GAC elite scholars. Southwestern was one of the distinguished scholar athletes as well in Clemson Lancaster. There's no doubt about that last one being in, though.
Avery with the back set over to the right side to tack it. Everybody goes flying. Harding will end up with the point. Emma Reeves checking back in for Harding. Rachel Heisner set to serve. Strong dig that time, Selena Foster. And a point for Harding. Taylor Mounts with the kill.
Well, you know, and Foster agreeing with you. She's shaking that off a little bit. She said that stung.
Sometimes you just put the arms up in defense. Southwestern tried to drop it in. They'll try again. No avail both times. And the left-hander with the windup, Reeves, but Harding's got it back. And down for a point, Emily Smith. Freshman registers the kill for the Harding Lady Bisons. And they're doing it again when Heisner's serving. Harding back to within 3.
But she's credited for the assist on that one as well, Michael. And I'll tell you what, to see, you know, setters like this, like what Heisner does, and some of these GAC setters, they not only have to be good at what they do, but Michael, they have to know individually how to set for 5, 6 players realistically on a given, on a given play or a given evening. You're going to set for the whole team, but specifically a range of about 4, 5, 6 players and know their abilities as well. Heisner's just doing a fantastic job of just putting that on display here.
You know, Heisner 5'8". We talked about all the height on this team, and that's pretty tall for a setter, but she looks taller than 5'8", I think.
Yeah, she does.
One of the rare times that maybe they've got them measured shorter than what they actually are, but she's really playing well.
I never wanted that when I was an athlete.
Well, right.
I got all 5'10" of what I could get, and I think I said and a half one year.
So a timeout from Southwestern, seeing some of the momentum slipping away from them as Harding is on a 4-0 run, making it 10-8 Southwestern. Third set, and Southwestern, the second set especially, but even the first set was closer than the score just because of those long rallies.
Right.
1 or 2 or 3 of those the other way, and could have been a whole different first set, could have been a whole different match, but we are seeing the 2 seed play as a very strong 2 seed right now.
We talked about Heisner and Harding being first-team GAC players this year. A couple more players from Harding getting honorable mention on the all-GAC team. Taylor Lake, Taylor Mounts, and Emma Reeves, also honorable mention for Harding.
In the middle that time, Emily Smith, but Southwestern keeps it alive. Look at that. You've got Heisner setting to, she's got 2, one a foot from her on the left and one a foot on the right. That's hard to stop.
It really is, and Reeves a fantastic job finishing that time, the junior from Topeka.
Run continues for Harding. They're within 1. Sipa Bourgeot out of place there, had to just get it across. Free ball at the net. Here's the set from Heisner. A good one-handed dig by Dillon. Another long rally, that one at the antenna there, and it hits the antenna out off of a Southwestern, so we're tied at 10.
All right, more recruiting conversation, Michael, just to throw this one out here, and this credit to what Harding's program is and what Coach Meredith Fear and her staff bring to the table. You're talking about a player like Emma Reeves. And Reeves not going to be set this time. What a nice dig, though. You're right.
Long.
But recruiting is Emma Reeves. She's a junior. She's from Topeka, but she's also from Washburn Rural High School there outside Topeka. Now, the reason that's a big deal is because Washburn in the MIAA is a pretty good volleyball school. They have a quality program there, and the Coach Fear can get a player like that out of Washburn into Searcy in the Harding program. So there's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. kill from Southwestern. Makes it 11-11. Sipa Bourgeot given credit for that one. Oh, great play that
That's
time for Mima
twice.
Reeves. Yep.
And one on either side of the net. And Coach Fear didn't like the call on the Southwestern side. Didn't say much about the one on the Harding side. I thought that was actually closer to hitting the court than the first one. But boy, nice job to get in there, both those players, one for each team.
Caitlin Dillon serving. That one rolls off of the block and out for a Harding point. Taylor mounts the kill.
And this one's tied up.
12-all. .116 attack attempts here from Southwestern. 101 for Harding as both of them cross the triple-digit plateau. And Harding has the lead at 13-12.
Well, you know, your offensive and your defensive looks have to change over the year depending upon the personnel you have. Now, I realize in certain schools and sports, like, say, Harding football, you're pretty much going to recruit players that can play the triple option. I mean, that's
right.
just the way it is, at least at this point in this era in Harding football. But in other, you may not get the opportunity. If you're recruiting the best player to your team or the players that you can get at that point in time, things change. And I think for Southwestern, that's the way the offense has been this year. I mean, it's just attack, 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 and it's just in volume. You do what you can with the personnel you have.
Meredith Fear going to challenge this call. Emily Smith with a big windup. The freshman out of Aledo went cross court, and call was that it was out. Harding's first challenge here. They've got 2 remaining, so again, right now it's showing Southwestern 14, Harding 13. I know every one of these challenges is big. We're right in the middle of this match here, in the middle of this set, and this could flip the script a bit. So the call was that it was out. And we'll have another angle at it in a minute. I don't know. I don't know if you should even venture a guess. I don't know. I mean, it's your record, but I'm just trying to help out my broadcast partner.
So far, it's spotless.
Spotless?
It's a spotless.
There is a 0 in your record right now. Yeah. Well, I don't think it was tipped, was it? I don't know if that's in play there or not, but
it's a good, valid point.
Ooh, that's close. It looks out to me.
Take this opportunity to commend our camera folks and the people who are running the cameras here. They are bringing us great looks at this.
Yeah, they are.
Whether or not it's easy to see if it was in or out, that's not on them. They've done a fantastic job. Great folks of the crew here at the GAC Sports Network.
So they're not going to overturn this one. It was out, and they say it was still out after looking at it. So they'll stay 14-13 Southwestern. Haven't been keeping my record, but, So they give it to Southwestern.
Well, nobody celebrates any more joyfully than Southwestern after a challenge is upheld for them.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
See in the upper portion of your screen, 2 or 3 of those girls for Southwestern jumped on the floor.
Well, and here we go again. That one slides off the net and down, and yeah, you got to watch out. They're going to end up on the playing surface here in a minute.
Michael, that's what happened after the last call was upheld. They got the next point, just very quickly to follow.
It was a pretty good challenge, though, because Coach Fear actually asked her, her players, what do you think, and let them kind of dictate that. They had that angle, Harding registering that point. They're back to within 1.
See Harden come back in the game for the Lady Bisons.
Yeah, you know, ever since Nathan Looney told me that she has a season-high 10 blocks, she hasn't registered one yet. So she's back in here now. And that one is out. Wow, not touched at the net.
I was going to say, that's something that was not touched by a player in a white jersey.
Interesting. We're tied at 15. Oh, how about that? Great play, and I don't know if it was the design play. May have mishit it. You think so?
I don't know. I think it was.
Well, like we said all along, you got to find a way to get around tall players at the net, so she did. Sipa Bourgeot. And Southwestern goes back on top, 16-15. Cross court, Emily Clayton. Clayton gets the kill for Harding, and it's 16-all. And see Zoe Harding encouraging her team along here. One of those juniors that Joey talked about a moment ago. The serve will be coming from Taylor Eubank. Here is Harding. She's got another kill. So she's nearing double digits in kills. That's her ninth. Hitting 368.
And they're going back to doing what they were doing in the first set, staying in system. And look at it again.
Southwestern got that one back across. Harding wants it again. Oh, misplayed. And that one's out.
She did. You know, that is such a rarity to see, not just from her, but I think any of these players that play at this level. She a little slip on the jump on the way up there. You know, it's as much timing goes into all of these sets and all of these leaps and everything else. You rarely see that at this level. She just kind of smiled a little bit and said, yeah, it happens.
Addie Amon with the service ace. Despite the hustle there from Harding. Amon, the junior out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Oklahoma Christian High School. Her team up by one. Back-to-back service aces for Amon. And Coach Meredith Fear wants a timeout. We'll step away as well. Southwestern leads by 2, 19-17 here in the third set on the GAC Sports Network.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful. No thanks.
Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Zoe Harding registers her 10th kill. Harding back to within 1 at 19-18. Michael Westbrook along with Joey McWilliams and Paul Smith. It's the third set. Harding leads 2-0. And this has been a fun one here, this third set.
It really has. Southwestern getting some momentum in the first part of the set. Got off to a 6-3 lead, 10-4 lead at one point in time. Harding has fought back. Good serves, though, by Amon. Harding claws back again.
The block there, Harding along with Mounts. We're tied at 19. Harding took it 3-0 in the regular season against Southwestern in a match played up in Searcy on October the 14th. Pretty similar. 25-14, 25-17, and 25-21 in the third set. This one's playing out just about like that. Dig by Eubank. Strong swing from Foster, but a better dig the other way. Heisner sets it across, and it was out. Just slightly out from Taylor Mounts.
I think you called it right, too. That dig by Dillon was even that much better, keeping Southwestern in it and ultimately getting the point.
Blocked at the net that time, and that is Cody Avery and Jenny Tackett there to combine for that one. And now Southwestern leads by 1. Boy, playing the edges.
Wow, they are. Each side digging to get the ball over the net. It happens both directions, and Southwestern just a little bit more.
Southwestern 22, Harding 20. As Cody Avery gets credit for the kill. And now a service ace, it's 23-20.
Southwestern not going quietly into the night here.
Allie Hong serving. Harding will send in Lindy Perkins, a freshman from Rossville, Tennessee. It's 3 in a row from Southwestern. Perkins getting in the action right away. Dig by Dillon. Harding has to get it across. Mounts does so. Mounts again, down for the kill that time. Boy, Harding was a step or two away from having some players run into each other. Some good communication out there to make it work.
Yeah, and I'm impressed as much with Mounts on the kill there, too. She was deep to take a swing at that. A good set to her, and she found her position. Not up on the line. She was deep back there, and they still got the point.
Heisner trying to set Smith. Southwestern ready for it. Southwestern finds the point. Valerie Vermillion. Well, the sophomore with an important point. It is set point for Southwestern at 24-21. And the senior from Fort Worth, the transfer from Cameron, Lindsay McCauley, is in to serve. Remember, Southwestern had several transfers from Cameron one year. At set point, Southwestern trying to stay alive. Dig by Hong. Back and forth at the net. Now Mounts down the line and in.
Wow. Now and by the way, those were good players coming from Cameron. They just looking for a new program, found a good one under Coach Josh Collins.
Emma Reeves is in for Harding. Here's Heisner serving. This goes to the libero Dillon. Good play, good recovery by Heisner for the dig, and that one is in.
Wow. Taylor Mounts here in the closing of this third set, really making a difference for Harding.
She has 10 kills now. Can Harding tie this thing up, or will Southwestern win it? Southwestern will. They take the third set, 25-23. And that'll send us to a fourth set. It's coming up here in just a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
I chose SAU because SAU has a very small hometown family feel where every faculty and staff member is willing to help you in any way that they can.
I chose SAU because it helps me develop tight-knit relationships amongst my teammates in the residence halls and with my peers.
I chose SAU because before I flew here from Malaysia, I felt welcomed by the SAU staff and faculty.
I chose SAU because the engineering department has strong industry support that provides internships and jobs after graduation.
I knew engineering would be a challenge, but that hasn't stopped me. Here, I could create a new organization and networking opportunities for women in STEM fields. At Arkansas Tech, I'm more than just a student. My name is Emily Torrialba, and I am a trailblazer.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
No, please, please, hold.
The running of the Bulldogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
There's so many reasons I came to SAU, but the main part was the family atmosphere. At SAU Engineering, even first and second year students get hands-on experience with the latest technology. Professors incorporate their real-life experiences, work one-on-one with the students, and care about our future. I found myself fitting in since day one, and I was immediately able to call SAU my new home. SAU is the 6th most affordable university in the nation. My name is Aaron Stanich, and I chose SAU.
Southwestern stays alive. They win the third set, 25-23, to take us to the fourth set. Harding leading 2-1. Well, what stuck out to you in that third set, Joey?
Well, it sticks out to me. Hitting percentage is relatively even between the two teams. Southwestern gets up to its highest hitting percentage of the match at 133, now hitting .059 for the match as a whole, but they held Harding to just 137 for that as well. They are able to get some good blocks in and take care of business when they need to, and a couple of service aces at a timely point.
Individually, Sipa Bourgeot leads the way for Southwestern with 12 kills. There's another block at the net, this time by Emily Smith and Emily Clayton. And for Harding, they're led by Taylor Mounts with 10 kills, Zoe Harden with 9, and Harding has 8 blocks.
It's interesting you mentioned Emily Smith and Emily Clayton. Of course, there's an Emma on this Harding team, but two Emilys, both of them freshmen, or actually one freshman, one junior, both from Aledo High School. So
well,
if you're going to if you get only one recruiting trip every 2 years, like Harding apparently does, and you're going to the Aledo area, just look for somebody named Emily.
Well, that's right, and that was the point I was going to make earlier. There was a player from Aledo, Texas in our previous matchup as well. Joey, that's a one-light town. I mean, you have one way in, one way out, and there's literally one light in a Sonic. No, it's grown up a little bit the last few years, but yeah, they've found the talent there for sure. By the same name. Strong swing that time from Delaney Fine. We mentioned it about Oklahoma Baptist. Even though they won in 4 sets earlier today, they never showed much emotion. They just stayed calm throughout. Southwestern's really never shown that they were down. You know, they're talking about players on the sidelines rolling around when they win a challenge call. I mean, they've kept an upbeat mentality.
Yeah, no doubt about this. They've been positive all the way through. Harding's been very consistent. But Southwestern's, I think they're playing on the emotion a little bit more, and I think at this point in the match they almost have to.
The left-hander from the right side there, Emma Reeves. Southwestern's return was out, so 4-2. Zoe Harden in the middle. And the serve from Taylor Lake. A block at the net that time. Fine was there. Did she have a teammate with her?
She did. I think that Amon was there as well. And I'll tell you what, as Amon goes back to serve, that may be as impressive a block as we've seen in this match, because the way that Clayton was coming through, I mean, the running start that she had and the authority that she put on that ball, that it was sent back over the net, was very impressive. Another one with authority.
Yeah, strong dig by Lancaster, though. That one down and in for the point. Subs for both sides. Cody Avery back in, replacing Amon. And into serve is Taylor Eubank. Into the net that time from Vermillion. Well, when they played each other in the regular season, it was just a 3-set match. Lady Bisons had 72 digs in that one. Goes back to the storyline of how Southwestern likes to hit the ball. Well, they got 68 right now. We're just getting settled into the 4th set, so got your work cut out for you if you're playing Southwestern.
By the way, we were talking about the attacks too, how the Southwestern through the first 2 sets had averaged 46 attacks for the first 2 sets. That number actually went up slightly, 46.3 the average.
Wow.
For 3 sets. It's just, you know, it's just the volume. But that, and of course now it plays to their advantage to be able to have the long rallies too. You get more opportunities with that.
So Southwestern takes the timeout. Harding leads 8-3 in the 4th set, leading 2-1. Give us a chance to remind you of what is coming up after this one. Our 5 o'clock matchup will feature the #1 team in our tournament, undefeated Arkansas Tech, 32-0 against 8 seed Southeastern Oklahoma State. Southeastern was the 8 seed last year, made it all the way to the finals. And then we'll have Northwestern as the 4 seed against the 5th seed Southern Nazarene. I know because it's our 4th match today, we haven't had much of an opportunity to talk about it yet, but I mean, you've got their reigning tournament champion, Southern Nazarene, against a climbing Northwestern team. I mean, the most wins in program history since they reinstated volleyball, a 20-win season for Northwestern. It's going to be an impressive matchup between those 2 teams. Eight to 3, Harding with the lead. And a timeout from Southwestern a moment ago, so they've got 1 left. There's Harding, another block. Wow, with authority, and she knows it. What do you do right there?
Not much you can do.
Delaney Fine gave it her all. And so that's the 9th block for Zoe Harden. Again, a season high 10 against Washburn. You know, we have talked about Harding's schedule a little bit, but you know, they lost to Central Missouri. They played Washburn. I mean, they have played some good teams in non-conference, but you know, still at 25-5. Not in the regional ranking mix. So if they're going to make it on a postseason play beyond conference tournament, they're going to have to win this thing.
Yeah, and of course that's,
well, Tech will too. But
I think, yeah, you're exactly right. And with any team coming in, I mean, with the region they're in, but most teams realize to continue, You know, you want to win the conference tournament because you get the automatic bid. Most teams have to win the conference tournament to get the automatic bid. Even so, for a team like Harding to have 25 wins and knowing that they're going to have to win it, it's just that much more incentive.
There's Harding's 10th block, matching the season high. And Harding is out in front big here in the fourth set, 11-4. Serve coming from Selena Foster. Talked a lot about Meredith Fear, the head coach for Harding, but it's actually her husband, Robert Fear, who's the one that does the standing during the match. The assistant coach, he's right there on the sideline, involved in every moment of action. Harding, a kill. Zoe Harding starting to take over now.
And Harding itself starting to take over now. You mentioned the other coach, Fear.
Serve from Foster goes to Dillon. Avery out of position for it, but made it work. And was that deflected off Southwestern? It was in anyways, they say. So a point for Harding, and Coach Collins wants to challenge that. Yeah, we'll see exactly what he's challenging here, because it looked as if potentially could have been deflected.
Yeah, the official waiting to see exactly what was challenged too. So we want to talk with Coach Josh Collins.
Yep.
In or out is the challenge.
It was called in.
A 4-0 run for Harding if that does stand. Also, I mean, you look at the score right now, 13-4, and I mean that is just, it's indicative of the play of Harding now here in the fourth set.
So the monitor has gone down and just came unplugged. So we're trying to get that squared away.
Getting a look at that now. If things, technical issues back into play now, everything's fine. We look at it over here.
And by gone down, I meant fallen over. Yeah.
Tough to tell at that angle.
This gives us a good look, I bet. The attack was coming from Mounts.
Well, if there was a question,
I thought maybe a Southwestern player tipped
now,
it.
and see, if that's the question, that's not the case. I believe that the Southwestern player avoided it.
Okay. And again, the call was that it was in, a kill for Mounts for Harding.
Even if the Southwestern player had touched it, it still would have been if it had gone out. But I think it is in.
You're going to go ahead and make another call
here,
are you?
I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Well,
I think I'm right on this one, Michael. I'm watching that hit that line. And
I think you're right.
I think that one's right.
I think so.
I may buck the trend with this one.
Yeah.
Well, right now,
I like the call from Coach Collins to go ahead and try to slow the momentum here and get a point if he can, but.
Well, they're playing I think it's a chicken dance here, and of course the Harding roster dancing with it, and they can do that. They're up 9 points right now.
It says they're staying with the call, so that would make it 13-4 in the kill for Taylor Mounts. Still getting that settled out. Zoe Harding with 11 kills, 10 blocks to reach that double-double mark. Harding sitting with 14 team blocks right now.
And so that's what the celebration is. You see Coach Meredith Fear applauding the call. It stands. And so her team up by 9 now.
A huge lead here in the fourth set. As Selena Foster will serve for Harding. Mounts again. That was outside the antenna.
Well, that one's out.
We got that one.
Tackett had to make an adjustment on that one, too. She stays in. She's on the front line. There's something on this near side over here that it seems like there's a little depth perception issue over here.
Maybe so. Wonder what that technology costs that tennis uses to be able to see the shadow and everything when it hits. Maybe we need to invest in that. Avery trying to set up her teammate. Harding recovers, and here they come. Back and forth again. Deflected off of Harding, a point for Southwestern.
Well, as much as anything, Coach Collins was able to use that challenge as a timeout. You got to talk to his team, and though the point and the call was upheld, since that time, Southwestern on a little bit of a mini run here, got a couple of points back.
Sipa Bourgeot with a kill a moment ago. Dig by Lake. Eubank coming in for the dig. Foster a wind up. Sipa Bourgeot, that one deflected off of.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it didn't hit a Harding player.
Wow, just to the net
hit
and then
the
out.
Net.
Okay. Wow.
So Harding will go ahead and get that point. Celebration from Southwestern, but it went off the net in such an awkward way. It didn't hit a Harding player.
Just be an attack error there then, no block. 14-6 Harding. Foster the dig. Eisner sets her teammate. Strong play the other way for Southwestern. Well, the pace has not let up.
No, good job by Dillon to stay with it.
How about that?
And again.
2 more solid efforts. Well, this point might as well be worth more than one because there's some real momentum after that one, and it will go to Southwestern.
Well, and I think that, one of the reasons Southwestern, I know this sounds interesting, but they were smiling even through the point. I mean, it came to a point there during that rally that you just have to acknowledge this is fun. There's a reason we play this game.
Yeah, why not, right? You're hanging with this team. Sipa Bourgeot again, another kill, and she's got 14 to go along with 5 digs. What a play, Lindsey McCauley. A one-handed dig a moment ago. Foster bumps it across. Sipa Bourgeot, Foster again. Now they're just all showing off, I think.
They are.
Wow.
This is a great display.
Another one. And finally, it'll come to an end there as Ellie Hong could not control that one. Fans are appreciating it too.
I think so too. And the only thing about this, if you're Southwestern, you have to get it to a 5th step. I mean, that's all there is to it. And then you do what you can from there. If you're Harding at this point, though, Michael, I mean, a game like this, I mean, you're expending a lot of energy here in day one.
You are. That's true. Emily Smith has 8 kills. She's one of 4 Harding players with at least 8. And her team leads by 8. That one goes out. Too much from Addie Amon. She's saying that it was deflected. And Coach Josh Collins will challenge this one, too, that the ball was touched on its way out of bounds. Amon seems to think so. Take a look at it. So the point,
and it was a 9-point deficit 6 points ago when Coach Collins called for a challenge on that play. Things slow down a little bit here. He gets an opportunity to, let his team get a breather. And you know what? This is going to benefit both sides here.
Well, yeah,
because
I need a breather.
In those 6 points, one of them seemed like it was going for about 6 points worth.
So what's in question here is that if Taylor Lake of Harding touched this one when Addie Amon went up for the attack, or maybe even touched at the net.
It's tough to say at the net. I don't think Lake got to it. I don't think she got to it.
Emily Smith maybe at the net.
That's possible.
Zoom in a little bit for you. To me, that may have gone off of one of those two blockers up front, but
if anybody, I think it was Poon, but maybe we see something here.
I don't know.
Well, it's tough to say. I don't know, but I don't think that Lake's arms were long enough to get over there.
I think you're right on that part.
And this is coming from somebody with short arms. So,
it's haunted you all your life.
That's what I was going to say. Kind of know that thing when you see it.
So the call was that Addie Amon hit it out, and 16-7 the Harding lead, and they will stay with that call.
Well, both sides still do get a breather, and so they get the chance to recover here.
Harding with a commanding lead here in the fourth set. The serve is coming from Heisner, as Avery sets up Sipa Bourgeau, but she hit it long. Harding at 17-7. Watch out for this one here. I just saved the official. He never even knew it.
18-7. Service ace then for Harding. And a timeout.
Southwestern takes its final timeout. They trail Harding 18-7. We're back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
For me, that meant that I could afford to go to college. When I was considering colleges, it was important to find one that my parents and I could afford. So I was happy to find that I could attend the University of Arkansas at Monticello at one of the lowest costs of any four-year college in the state. Affordability, tradition, a great college experience. It all comes together here at UAM.
At the University of Arkansas at Monticello, yes you can.
When I set out to explore my future, I encountered many paths. I looked for a university that would prepare me for a successful career. A place to get rooted in an actively involved.
18-17 is our score. Harding leads Southwestern in the fourth set. As play resumes here from Bank of the Ozarks Arena in Hot Springs, Harding will have the point as Caitlin Dillon could not come up with the dig that time.
She got over quickly. All she could do was redirect it, though.
Rachel Heisner serving. Foster wisely lets that one go. Maybe not so wisely. They say it was in. The sub for Southwestern is Fine is back in. Watch out over there on the far side, a Harding player. That's Heisner colliding with the press row area. I think the table's the one that got hurt, though. She's all right. She kind of just misplayed there from Madison Poon, and Heisner tried to go get it.
And one of the kids that help out so well here in Hot Springs getting the balls taken care of. She got out of the way quickly.
Avery drops it off to her teammate Fine. She takes care of the rest. Harding 19, Southwestern 10. Serve from Lindsay McCauley. Sorry, Cody Avery.
Not the look Southwestern wanted, and that was just a good setup for Harding.
You mentioned, Joey, that they're having to maybe play a little bit longer than they wanted to. Some points are taking a long time to develop, but Zoe Harden's on the bench right now, so she's getting some rest. We've seen several spots in the action where she has been on the bench, so we'll see if they stick with that the rest of the way. They're only 5 points away.
Yeah, they're over the net. They're going to go ahead and make that call, and both the officials thought about it just a little bit, saw it, made the decision, so it's a Harding point. Yeah, I agree with you. If you can rest a player in a situation like this, you think there's a good chance to make it on into the next round, then giving Harding a little bit of rest today is a good decision.
The kill for Delaney Fine, 21-11 our score now, and Clemson Lancaster, the junior from Hewitt, Texas, in to serve. There's a kill for Harding. And it is Emily Smith, so she's hit 9 kills now, and she will exit back to the bench as Taylor Lake is in to serve. Lake hits it to the libero Dillon. Off the block and out for a kill for Southwestern. Delaney Fine registers another one.
Fine, one of the 2 seniors on this Southwestern team. Lindsay McCauley, the other one. Both of them sophomores on that championship team a couple years ago.
Back set that time to Reeves. There's Vermillion. Well, Hardin is back in. Strong dig from Avery. See him trying to drop it over the top of Hardin so she can't get a play on it. Again. A kill for Harding, giving him 23 as Emily Clayton will get credit for that one. Taylor Eubank to serve. Hardin
stays in.
Sure did. It's match point for the Lady Bisons at 24-12. They won the first set 25-12. They'll try to win the fourth set that way, but the serve goes way too long from Eubank.
I think that was close to the orange. I mean, that's excitement on match point right there.
And that was close to Paul Smith, who's standing by here in a minute to wrap up our broadcast. That one almost hit him. Hong to serve. It's match point for Harding. They'll go to Hardin. She was rejected. The opposite way this time, and Emily Clayton finishes it off. A kill for Emily Clayton makes it 25-13. The final in 4 sets. Harding advances. Let's head down to the third member of our crew to wrap up our broadcast. Here's Paul Smith.
With a 3-1 victory, Harding will advance to the semifinals to face Oklahoma Baptist. That matchup will take place at 3:30 tomorrow. Now we begin the work of setting the other semifinal matchup, and a match is going to begin in just about 30 minutes. They're shortening the warm-up time to get us back on schedule. It'll be the 8th seed, Southeastern Oklahoma, against the undefeated regular season champion, the nationally number 8, Arkansas Tech Golden Suns. 2 great matchups still to come here today in Hot Springs. We will have them for you very soon when we come back in just about 30 minutes right here on the GAC Sports Network.